Welcome back to the preview show for this week at Road America. We're not going to talk about much, but well, we might. I'm Casey Campbell, and that's Michael Carey from TobyChristie.com. And when he comes on, you know there's big things to talk about. And we have probably the biggest news of the season. And I think that a bit, well, obviously. Okay, let's break this down. Trackhouse Racing announced today that they have purchased the entire Chip Ganassi Racing NASCAR organization. Now, not all of Chip Ganassi Racing, because there's the IndyCar team, there's the IMSA team, there's the Extreme E team. This is just the NASCAR organization that's in Charlotte. The IndyCar, the IMSA, and all the other programs are based in Indianapolis. So none of that's going away. The IndyCar team, the IMSA team, and the Extreme E team, they're going to still be around. Chip Ganassi Racing will still be around and winning. And yes, Chip still does like winners. But the NASCAR operation, that will be going away beginning in 2022 with Team Trackhouse. Of course, Daniel Suarez will be one of their drivers. We don't know who the other one will be. But I think this caught almost everybody off guard. I mean, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, this was you knew they had a major announcement coming, and I feel like when your stage is the NASCAR Hall of Fame, you know you got something special. I mean, we've seen drivers get revealed there with a new team. We've seen, major sponsorship deals have gone there, but to see a full-blown purchase of a good NASCAR team like Chip Ganassi Racing, I mean, I was caught off guard too. I mean, I personally thought that it was going to be an ownership press conference talking about how they got another big name star as a part owner of the company. But, when it was revealed that it was Chip Ganassi Racing, like the purchase of it, I looked at my email and I was like, it took me a minute for it to register and then I had to go write about it. But that was not expected. And to me, that was a baller move by Justin Marks because he lost, I think, 3 bids for a charter in his time with Trackhouse. Yeah. And he just said, okay, I'll buy that and get 2 charters out of it. And the thing is too, that's 2 charters that I think nobody was expecting to really be available for next season. I mean, Chip even said he was not planning to sell the team at all. It wasn't even an inkling in his mind until Justin came to with an offer. But this was definitely, I think this is probably the biggest news of silly season 2022.
This is silly season on steroids. And remember, like I said earlier, every charter is up for sale for a fair price.
And yes, if you got the money for it, you can buy a charter.
Yes. Or you can buy an entire race team.
That's even better.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's talk. I mean, Trackhouse has, grown so much and, they're going to be a 2-car operation. Now the question is who's going to be in that car, in the second car. We know Daniel Suarez is going to be there, which is the first time that he's going to be with the same team. Well, I mean, no, he was with Gibbs, the first part of the year, but for the first time in a long time, he's going to be with a team, the same team, and that's got to be good for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people don't understand that for a driver to really, I feel like, come to their prime, they have to have stability with the same team, the same crew chief. It does not take one season to build that perfect chemistry. It takes a long time. And for Suarez, I feel like he's gotten a bad rap because he went from Gibbs, he went to Stewart-Haas, he went to Gaunt Brothers, and then he went to Trackhouse. He's bounced around a lot the past couple seasons, and he can't get chemistry anywhere. He can't learn the car anywhere, be with the team. So with Trackhouse, I mean, he's really found something, I feel like, especially for the long term. And this deal is a major, major pillar for Trackhouse's future. I mean, they got 2 charters now. They own those charters. They got a great race shop at CGR. My guess is because it's going to be a 2-car operation, they likely will take over some of the CGR staff. I mean, they just got themselves a fantastic deal for 2022. But like you said, the next step is figuring out who that driver is going to be.
Yeah, I know Justin Marks did say in the press conference that he is going to intend to keep most of that Chip Ganassi staff in tow. And, when we talk about which is good for Trackhouse. It's kind of a bittersweet for Chip Ganassi Racing. I know that, they've been in the sport for 20 years, as long as I can remember. Watching NASCAR, I've always seen Chip Ganassi on the racetrack, and, drivers like, Jamie McMurray, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Sterling Marlin, Casey Mears early on, and, Juan Pablo Montoya. And Chip Ganassi is one of the biggest names in all of racing. But is it kind of sad to see that, this is their last year?
I feel like it is. I mean, you can put Chip Ganassi and Roger Penske in the same ballpark when it comes to their impact on motorsports. I mean, they're involved in everything. And to see Chip walk away from NASCAR, that's a surprising revelation for me because, like you said, in our lifetime, most of our lifetime, between me and you, we've seen Ganassi cars on track, whether it's the 40, the 41, the 42, the one car, the Earnhardt Ganassi merger. I mean, that team's gone through a lot in recent years.
Yeah.
And I feel like some deals that have happened in the past might have reflected their future. I mean, look at the DC Solar ordeal. I mean, that was a lot of money getting pumped into that team with Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain. And then all of a sudden we find out, it was one big scam. And Ganassi really got hurt by that. I feel like, I'm not saying that caused the demise now or the sale of it, but I'm sure that might have thrown some questions around in Chip's head, perhaps, about the long-term stability of the team, especially after, the Kyle Larson incident last year. I mean, Larson was going to be Ganassi's bread and butter for who knows how long. And to see that go away because of what Larson said, I mean, granted, he's got a better opportunity at Hendrick, but, Ross and Kurt's a great driver. Ross is still trying to figure out his footing in the 42 car. And I feel like right now, I mean, they're both auditioning for that second car, and who knows who it's going to be. I mean, I think for Ross, he just found out today that he's a potential candidate for that car.
Yeah. So now that we've seen the Kaulig move, with Spire selling their, 2 charters, and then you see GMS, they're going to Cup, and you see Trackhouse, basically taking over Chip Ganassi Racing. Okay, so the next move is, what's 23XI gonna do? Because you still got, the Rick Ware charters are out there, and we still have Starcom, but who knows what those teams are gonna do? Matt Tiff's confirmed to me several times, like, they're not selling. Of course, I'm talking about Team Live Fast, but what happens next? And are we gonna what's next? Is the money team gonna show up again?
I forgot about them, to be honest with you. I mean, I was thinking about them last month, and even like NY Racing. I mean, that's another team that people forgot about. I mean, they were gonna be in Daytona, I think, and then all of a sudden they backed out. I actually emailed them twice to just see if I get a response, and I haven't gotten anything. It's been 4 months. As far as 23XI goes, I mean, I think, you see, the charter situation is interesting because I still feel like there could be a Cup team that might be in the ballpark to fall to a similar situation as Marks and Ganassi, where there's a buyout of some sort or a purchase. I feel like there might be maybe a Cup team that could still fall in that range. But the thing is, you don't need a charter. That's the major thing. But you better hope and pray that when you get to Daytona, that you can qualify and finish the 500. Because if it rains out again, if qualifying rains out or you crash your Daytona car right away, I mean, it doesn't really lock you in for the next season, for the next race. So a charter is great to have, but even Dale Jr. said $10 million, that's pretty steep. And he even said on SiriusXM radio, he said it might get to the point where it might be more expensive to field an Xfinity Series team rather than a Cup team. If that's the case, that's a major problem because it's the Xfinity Series is a feeder for the Cup Series. If you got to pay more to be in that series, you might as well either go to trucks or take that leap of faith and go to the Cup Series.
Yeah, of course. And I want to talk on the Xfinity Series because, I've been heard this and addressed this and talking about, Xfinity. And there's been talks about the garage of what the future of that series is going to be. And yet there's a talk always about the garage of what all the series futures are going to be. Oh, the trucks are going away. Or Xfinity's going away. Oh, is ARCA going to go away? Well, I mean, with the next gen car, what are the future of these series? Because, obviously if, there's stuff going around about what the Xfinity series is going to look like, it could merge with the ARCA series. That's something that's been talked about as well. But
I think so. The whole point of the next gen car, I think, is to just simplify things, make it more cost effective. And that's the goal. But the reality is, do we really know that yet? I mean, we haven't seen the next gen car in the team shops yet. I mean, it's, I talked to Tommy Joe Martins. He said it's going to cost $300,000 just to put a car together, a single car. Look at Hendrick Motorsports. I mean, they got four teams. They each need their own sets of cars. I mean, right there, that's $1.2 million just to field those 4 cars for a single race. I feel like in the beginning, you won't see that cost effective ratio, but as time goes on, it'll become more apparent. But this is why I also think, look at GMS, like they're taking that leap to the Cup Series for next gen. Junior Motorsports, they're flirting around with it. Colleague Racing, they're doing it too. I think they're starting to see what the future of the Xfinity Series might look like. And I think part of that is what Dale Jr. said, is that, it might get to the point where it's going to cost more to race Xfinity than Cup. Well, why wouldn't you take that leap? Because Cup, if it's going to be cheaper, it's on a much bigger scale in terms of the audience, sponsorships. I mean, everybody wants to make it to the Cup Series. So it seemed like the perfect match, but you got to really look and study if this is NASCAR's plan, if it's going to work.
Yeah. I mean, it's been talked about. It's like, trying to figure out like what's next and all that stuff. And I mean, there's with these other series with mergers and talking like that, and who knows what's going to happen. And there's rumors about floating around there, and that's just one of them. It's who knows if that's going to happen or not, but we'll have to see. Like, something drastic may need to happen. Like something drastic happened today. So
yeah.
But anyway, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see, how all that's gonna play out. I mean, what could happen now? How do you see this all playing out? Do you see like any? Obviously, something's gonna happen with 23. I do think we're gonna see another major move happen. But what else could happen? I mean, what's JTG gonna do?
Well, I mean, so there's questions around the 37 car, obviously, with Ryan Preece. I mean, he has 24 races of sponsorship, I believe, and there's still those 12 or so races where it's kind of up in the air right now. And I feel like it's good that he's running trucks. He ran 2 races in trucks. I feel like that's a benefit for him, because sometimes, I've said this before, drivers like Justin Allgaier, for example, he may not excel well in Cup, but if you, move him down a series, he might do much better. And it's proven that he's done that. And I feel like Ryan Preece could potentially be a driver who's like that, where he might not have a lot of Cup success, but knock him down to Xfinity or trucks, and he might really excel. I mean, John Hunter Nemechek, he took the gamble this year. He was in a Cup driver front row. He didn't want to run, 25th, 30th every week. He went to KBM. He's winning races. He could win the championship this year. I feel like a move like that, that's going to inspire some other drivers, perhaps, where, well, if I'm just going to run 30th in the Cup Series, what if I go down to Xfinity or trucks even and see what I can do there? And John Hunter's proving that's a viable thing. But JTG, that's definitely a team I keep my eye on, because their future is kind of in question. I mean, that 37 car, I think it's probably going to end up going away next year unless sponsorship can be found. Stenhouse is a fantastic driver. If Kroger wants to keep on the car, JTG's fine. But that's a team I'm going to keep a hard eye on heading into, around September, I would say.
Especially after what happened today with Ganassi. Who knows what's going to happen in there. All right. With all this news happening, there is a race this weekend. NASCAR is going to Road America. Well, the Xfinity Series has been a frequent stop there, but the Cup Series is going back there. First time since 1956. Been a while, but a lot of challenges. Road America's always been one of my favorites. And I mean, the Indy cars just race there. And it was amazing. You know, NASCAR will be there, Trans Am will be there with them also, and then next month IMSA will be there. So it's a very popular series from almost all all of the racing series out there. What's it going to be like this weekend?
I think there's a lot of questions in terms of specifically the Cup Series. I mean, there's a lot of drivers in that field that have never ever driven a lap on Road America before. I mean, you have guys like Michael McDowell. I mean, he won there before. Christopher Bell's won a race there before. And those guys like AJ and even Chase Elliott. I mean, I really think those are a couple names that can really excel when it comes to the road course races. I mean, even look at Daytona Road Course this year with Christopher Bell. I mean, he won. I mean, it got down to the last lap or so, but I mean, he won it and he was strong, especially at the end of that race. In terms of Xfinity, I mean, guys like AJ, Cindric, you can't count those guys out when you go to a road course. I mean, those are some of the best road course racers in the series right now. And then even the truck series, I mean, Ben Rhodes, I mean, he won this year in Daytona. You had Sheldon Creed last year. Um, there's so many unknowns about Road America, and I've been begging for the Cup Series to go there. So I'm just excited to see how it all plays out. It's definitely going to be, I think, a memorable race for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially if they can put on a show like the IndyCars did a few weeks ago, it's definitely going to be one to watch. Okay, time to make some picks. I mean, you know how this works. You want to go first, buddy, with the Xfinity series, but yeah, I'll actually go back to that. Xfinity's got some tough competitors this week. We got Kyle Busch is in the field. Kevin Harvick's in the 99. Ty Gibbs is in the 81. There, yes, JGR is running 5 cars. You know, Sam Mayer is in his home race, and of course, you know, returning there after a very fiery crash in Trans Am there last year. So yeah, of course he'll be back. Of course, Andy Lally will be there. Spencer Pompelli will be in the 6 for JD Motorsports. And a lot of guys, a lot of road course experience. Who you got?
That's hard. I mean, it's just, here's my thing. A guy like Ty Gibbs, I know he's new to the series, but he's won multiple races this year. You can't count him out. I mean, his first ever try at the Daytona Road Course, he won the race. And it wasn't like he slipped in there at the last second. I mean, he put on a pretty good show that entire race. Now, keep in mind, you know, Road America is drastically different in terms of length and the turns and the elevation changes. But you can't count out guys like Kyle Busch and even Ty Gibbs. I mean, if I had to guess who it's going to be personally, I would probably say I would put my money on AJ. I'll say Ty Gibbs. I mean, I'll take AJ as my primary pick, and then I'll put Ty as my dark horse, and then even past that, Andy Lally. I mean, dude loves road courses, and that's what he's known for. I could definitely see him maybe slipping in the top 5 or so.
Yeah, don't forget Sam Mayer is a pretty good road racer too, and of course, you know he wants to put on a good show in his home state. But I'm going to take Ty Gibbs. I'm going to do it. Yeah, let's do it. Yes, Kyle's in the field. Yes, Kyle Busch is in the field. Yeah, you know, yeah, I can't wait for the headline. Oh, he beat Kyle Busch. Oh, he beat Kevin Harvick. Oh, it's going to be good if that happens, or if Sam wins too. The opposite there. Yeah. I mean, you look at what Ty and Sam have both done in the last few years. It's been good, but I'll take Ty on this one. It's a bit of a surprise, but shouldn't be a surprise because you know he's doing what everyone expected him to do, and that is dominate and win. So yeah. All right, let's go to the Cup Series. I'll go first this time. It's definitely going to be interesting, but you know, kind of not going off the whim here. I'm going to go with Hendrick Motorsport. I'm going to go with Chase. I feel like the 9 needs a win and kind of continue. You know, I know the streak was broken by Kyle at Pocono on Sunday, but yeah,
I mean, it could be time.
Yeah, it might be the 9 time or something, whatever. What you got?
So I got a good dark horse pick.
Okay.
Michael McDowell.
Ooh, that's actually not bad. Remember, he won Road America, got his first win back in 2016 there.
He won Road America when he was RCR for that in the 2 car. In terms of a primary pick, I would probably be comfortable saying Christopher Bell, just because I feel like Bell. I think he's misunderstood, honestly, when it comes to his driving potential. I mean, he's kind of that quiet, consistent driver. He doesn't get a lot of TV time, but he's still learning, the 20 car. I'd probably say Bell. If you can't say Bell, I probably would say Elliott is a safe pick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. So yeah, so definitely going to be a good weekend out in Road America. Of course, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of racing going on. Of course, the ARCA West race out in Irwindale. We got the Indy cars on Sunday. How about some Friday night IMSA sports car action at Watkins Glen? How about that's like unheard of. So
IMSA for me, like this year I started taking a hard look at F1, IndyCar. IMSA, I'm starting to dabble into a little bit, not too crazy, but them at Watkins Glen, I think it'll be a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, that'll be fun to see. I've covered IMSA since I've covered racing back since 17, and IMSA is a very underrated series. Of course, with different classes of cars, and you have to explain everything. It's like the big heavy cars. Of course, it's the GT cars. Then you got the GT Le Mans, which is typically the factory built cars. Of course, those yellow Corvettes and stuff. Of course, you got the DPI prototypes. The iconic number 10. You got the 31 Cadillac and all that stuff. So IMSA is really fun, especially with that LMDH class coming in the next few years. It's definitely a series that's definitely on the rise. And of course, IMSA is owned by NASCAR, so definitely a series you should check out Friday night. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. All right. That's the preview show. And yes, it was jam packed. And yes, we had a major announcement. And I like major announcements. I like big time stuff that blows your head, blows this kid's, because usually nothing gets by this kid. Even all your number placements, all your number fonts, and all that stuff. And just a reminder to paint your side skirts there, all you designers out there, because this kid will get on you about it.
Well, I made my case to Trackhouse. I tweeted at them. I said, look, hear me out. And I made a 25 with a slash in it. So let's hope and pray that next season we see a 25 on track.
Oh boy, that's two things. Yeah, that'll be when the 25 goes on the track. It'll be this kid will have a field day.
Very happy.
Yes. All right. Good to see. Good to be with you. We'll talk to you next week when we go back to Hotlanta.